I want to talk for a minute about domestic travel in Phase 3. I've been asked about that last week. And it's relevant. It's relevant now. Mobility is up. Thank God tourism is up. Some folks are coming here. And even business travel is beginning to happen again. So as I said last week, this is something that we really have to look at. And right now, summer is the season for travel in Rhode Island, so we have to look at it. And to be clear, I want people to come here. Like, I want folks to come and spend money in our restaurants and enjoy our beaches, and as long as they follow our rules. Having said that, we have to protect, it's a balance. We want to support our hotels and restaurants, but we also don't want an outbreak. So as of tomorrow, we in Rhode Island will have a mandatory 14-day quarantine for anyone coming to Rhode Island from any state with a 5% or greater positivity rate. 5% or greater positivity rate. As an exception to that rule, you will not have to quarantine if you've had a negative coronavirus test and can attest to the fact that you've had a negative coronavirus test in your home state within the past 72 hours. This rule, when it starts tomorrow, will apply to 23 states in America. Having said that, this is going to change. This is going to be a hard thing to enforce. I'll be the first to admit it. The list will be published today. The list of states will be published today on the Department of Health website and will be updated weekly. So the CDC and Johns Hopkins have a terrific table, and we're going to use that data, posted on the Department of Health website. So at any point, if you want to know which states are on the list, go to the Department of Health website, and you'll see the states on the list. How are we going to enforce this? We're going to enforce it with signage. There'll be signs everywhere. There'll be announcements everywhere. There'll be signage and announcements on the highways, at the airport, at the train station. We're going to be working closely with the tourism industry, hotels, rental properties, B&Bs, asking them to communicate the rule to their visitors. All visitors at these establishments will have to complete a self-attestation, a form understanding that they know these requirements and that they're either going to quarantine or they've tested negative. Now, if you're a Rhode Islander who travels to one of the states on the list, when you come home, you should quarantine for 14 days, or you could sign up for a test by going to portal.ri.gov. And if you test negative, you don't have to quarantine. So if you live in Rhode Island and you travel to Florida, you want to come home, you have to work or whatever, you don't want to quarantine, you can't quarantine, you have to go get a test, and if you test negative, you don't have to quarantine. Having said all of that, I'd encourage you to stay local. If you don't have to travel, stay home. Rhode Island's beautiful in the summer, and we'd love for you to stay here.